What's going on? It's Justeeni here, and today we've got some more Guess the Elo. It's going to be a Polaris versus Kiku on huge lakes, which I've got to say, I don't think I've actually seen this in quite a while, especially not this recent of a version. It's actually version 106. Wow. But yeah, I guess we'll get right into things. So, interesting to explore here. I don't know if I agree with it, but you find the village. I guess we're just going towards the resources. We're committing to hunting awfully early. I mean, we know we're gonna get it, so I can't fault it too much. Okay, we're just upgrading workshops. Makes sense. Early game, you know, it's a big map. You need a lot of economy to really get rolling. Riding here is just bad. I would probably be saving for either org or forestry anyway, and just kind of using warrior spam for now. And getting writing right now obviously does nothing. So like, why are you getting writing? Like, I guess you're gonna expand faster, but if your eco's not catching up, then I'm not too sure, because Polaris, when they overexpand, they can get punished pretty hard. Okay, we get the lighthouse, and there is a ruin back there, which is really nice. So we can snag that. Using these Moonies to help us expand faster, which is actually really nice here. Another Moonie. These Moonies are surprisingly not cheap, and it's gonna mean your economy is really slowing down. Now getting ice fishing. And so I guess that's how we're gonna develop. Roads is also a consideration, mostly because, like, why I'd consider roads is, first off, it helps you expand faster. Keep in mind, they're both tier 2 techs, so tech price is the exact same. But roads can allow you to connect like this, then outpost, 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 outpost. Actually, better yet, outpost, 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 road. That's Grand Bazaar. 3 roads, 4 outposts. And you can just place an extra one here for the level 3. So 2 of the outposts you're gonna place anyway. And I guess if you place another one here, I think that's surprisingly efficient, so I would definitely really like roads here. This feels like a missed opportunity going for ice fishing instead, because you are probably gonna get roads like this turn. I guess now you have ice fishing too. We get a population ruin, so again, really screams out we want roads here. Or maybe forestry, but probably roads. Get a Gami on our capital. Really get developing. Another Moonie. So we're playing quite aggressively. Lots of units again. I like to say make more units, but you have plenty of units. You're fine in that department. Now you need to kind of switch things over to eco. So we'll see if that happens. Some nice freezes, though not addressing this. This could have been, I assumed you're just going to freeze like this and freeze this warrior that way, and then, you know, this would justify freezing like that instead of moving this rider and freezing like this, which I actually think this is better. Move the rider and like bonk the scout, I guess. Something like that could work. So this feels like just completely mismicroing. Like we just allow them to take the village, just straight up. And they probably hold it too. Explorer does explore things. It's not the most useful. I assume they wanted it to go along the ice, but I don't think it was funneled for that. And yeah, so they're just gonna take that. And if they can get warriors to stick here, it's gonna be so annoying, because then they can just chip away at this ice. So you need to freeze this ASAP, which they do. Perfect. And that's actually interesting. Did you intentionally allow them to get the village? Which, it sounds really weird. Give them the village, but they're kind of justifying it if that's the case. this is level 1. The issue is it does still make economy for them, but it's just sitting there, and that's all it's doing until they level it up. It's increasing their own tech prices. But I think the big issue here is, again, your economy is not there. It's turn 14, you still don't have roads, you still don't have a super unit. Like, this is why, like, economy is still important, you can't neglect it completely, is you do need super units, which are important for your army, and if you don't have those, your army will suffer. Polarism, I strongly disagree with. Again, we need economy. We can get roads, and we can get Polarism later. But riders with Polarism alone just won't win the game, unless the opponent decides to let us win the game. I guess that's a possibility. I wouldn't rely on it, though. Because yes, we do get some nice fancy sieges, but we spend another turn wishing we had more. We'll see how this goes, though. Because it looks like the opponent has possibly a similar issue, lack of units and possibly a lack of economy as well, which that just leads me to believe that this is just a low elo game. Which I guess, I mean, some games are lower elo. Not everyone is a professional at the game. But yeah, they don't have a lot of units. And it's not like they have forestry or something to justify it, or even roads. So it's like both sides have the exact same issue, it's just Polaris is winning because, well, they have Polarism, they have a means of attacking. Kiku does not. So therefore Polaris is winning because of that. And they will just probably go on to win anyway, despite the fact that I've said that they aren't going to win without roads. They're just going to win anyway, despite me. They finally get the Gami with Gate of Power, of all things. On a huge map, your first super unit with Gate of Power. That's not something you tend to see. Kiku is going to unsiege, defend, just take out the minis, and now they're going to make units. This is really interesting to see. I still am wondering if/when Polaris gets roads, because they can connect their cities for really cheap too. It's not actually that much out of their way. But they're just going to keep spamming units like their life depends on it. And if Kiku ever realizes that they can develop economy and just do that while training units on defense, because defense tends to be pretty cheap. All you have to do is unsiege, whereas trying to set up an unbreakable siege is much more difficult. They decide to level up a city, but this city specifically is an odd choice. It's about to get sieged. Kiku uses their Gate of Power not to get a giant, but instead to get a level 3. Now we see roads, finally. And I'm assuming they're just using that to get the rider in faster, and because they're about to capture a city. But I feel like after roads, we're going to see Polaris' position really come alive here. And they waste some stars there, nice. But other than that, yeah, I would imagine, like, I'm predicting the future here. Polaris is just going to... Wait, why are they doing this? Tell me they use outposts, right? Tell me they use outposts. This is a 24-hour game, by the way. They had time to think about these things. It's turn 18, and they decided to use the outposts anyway. Okay, and then preemptively Park of Fortune. No, I don't like that at all, because you have no issues getting 3 population here. You don't need to dedicate an entire monument to it. You can get that 3 population here, and then an outpost to get a Gami in the front lines, where you would otherwise have to spend way too many stars to do that. And I think that's much better. Just throwing a Gami in the front lines and just saying, you can't steal with it, good game. Some missed micros there. So yeah, there's a lot of things that are kind of jumping out to me. I mean, I will say, well, a lot of these decisions I don't fully agree with. They're not entirely like terrible. Like there is a justification to most, if not all, these decisions I see. I just think it's a little overboard on the aggression, and because the opponent isn't really punishing you, you're just kind of winning the game. We're playing around knights really well, though. We have tons of space to do that. Now we're buying forestry, which again, why are we buying forestry? Get Grand Bazaar. We're like almost there. We just connect a few cities with outposts and we're golden. Another monument, and then you can make that play that I mentioned before. Place them over here. Get the Gami. Win the game. So this seems like not the right time to get attacked like that. And also we just forgot to get the level 3 here with forestry, so I guess forestry was a short-sighted idea just in general here. I'm missing a few things. And yeah, I'm questioning Kiku here as well. No roads at all, but they are spamming knights full on against riders with Polarism, which doesn't make very much sense. It's quite tricky to use knights against riders when they're mobile. And there is a chain set up here. It is blocked very nicely though, so way to make this work actually. Really good micro here. And now, yeah, this is actually just completely winning now. Especially with now Polaris' economy just soaring ahead of the opponent at this point. And then just there's 4 sieges and you can break one of them. Oh, there's 5 sieges. There's this one too. Oh my goodness, yeah, this is just disgusting. I don't know about Grand Bazaar all the way back there, but you know, we're winning anyway. We can do what we want. And that's the game. I'm really curious what Kiku had going. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. Not a lot. And they had really good forestry math set up and they just never did it. And it's not like they didn't have the time. This is a huge lakes. They had the time to do that kind of thing and they didn't. Kind of like how Polaris had time to make that beautiful road setup that I was talking about earlier, and they just kind of didn't. And then they eventually did it. They misplayed a little bit, but you know what? So there were some misplays like micro and macro. There's some atrocities like this road placement. What even is this? You have Polarism. These roads actually serve no purpose except to connect the city. Which, well, yeah, I need this many roads, right? Except no, you could have just placed the outpost here and then you save 2 roads. And if you place them diagonally like this, you can also connect here. Now this city can actually do something, get in the game. And that's like really nice. So despite this being a 24-hour game, there's not a lot of attention to detail, I suppose. Which leads me to believe this is definitely sub 1600. I think that is clear. But it's definitely not like 1,000, obviously. Like, they had a plan. They had plans. They stuck to it. Their plans worked. Their micro had intentions, even if there were misplays at some point. So I'm led to believe about 1,300. Yeah, let's say 1,300. Okay, a little higher than 1,300, but that was close enough. Only 150 off. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like and sub, and have a good one.